Welcome to a very special Alpha Magnus review. This time we're going over the final turtle, thus far, I guess, of the Universal Monsters X Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle X Universal Monsters, whatever you want to call it. Donatello is the Invisible Man Ultimate Action Figure. You can see it all back here. It is wonderful. Can you keep his secret under wraps? And then it shows the other ones on here. As you can see, I've gotten all of them out for this special occasion, for comparison's sake. So here he is. We've got all of these lovely toidles. Let's take him out of here. So I want to thank NECA for coming up with this line. They did what I think might be the impossible. The original turtle figures had many different versions. The only one that I think got duplicated was the bride, as April as the bride, but they kind of changed it up and made it the Ninja Turtle movie bride instead. Ninja Turtle movie April as the bride instead of just a yellow one. Because that's kind of what she was in the old line. If you have never looked this up, go check it out. Those figures are cool in their own right. So we've got here Donatello. He does come with, I think he might come with the most amount of accessories out of any of these. And Mikey had a lot too. I don't know, they all kind of have a lot of accessories. These are a little more expensive than I prefer to pay, but when they're like this, it's just cool. So this is the hand casing here. So he's got many gloved hands, and it's a couple invisible ones. He's got looks like invisible feet. Like, this thing comes with a ton of stuff. I might buy a second one just because of how much stuff this comes with. But time will tell on that. Looks like we've got ourselves one little thing here. Let's slide that back through the front if I can. I think that was the only. There we go. Oh no, he's got one up top too. I'm just gonna cut that one because I only care to be able to put him back in the box at some point. Yeah, there. Cool. Most of this stuff's going right back in here, but he does come with looks like a beaker and glass for his experiments, a microscope there, a very snazzy TGRI book. So they made it a book. We are going to keep this out. So he's got his always faithful bow staff. He's going to drop a bunch of stuff on the floor. There's his hat. Don't get ran over by that wheel. And then here's probably the most disappointing thing that they give. Is a weird head. We'll go over that in a second. Another reason why I might buy a second one, which is funny. Something I don't like about it is going to make me purchase a second one. So off the bat here we've got, he's got clear toes, which is cool. So he's supposed to be invisible Donny, after all. The scientist of the group. Not really sure what else they could possibly pull from this line. I know they're supposed to have Shredder as, I'm assuming, Dracula and whatnot. I know that they're kind of trying to stick with the Universal license, which is fine for the Turtles. I want them to break free of that for the rest of the figures. Let's zoom in here. I want them to break free of those shackles for the rest of the figures, because I would love to have like a Texas Chainsaw Bebop, you know, where he's like just a bunch of pig parts on his face, but he's actually still Bebop. I'm weird. He does have motion on his head as well as a neck piece, and then you can take these off, leaving clear eyeballs there. So it is cool that they did that. Donny does tend to have goggles, so that's definitely interesting. There's a couple other options on here that are cool, but this was easily the best, is that he's got pieces of pizza he's, I guess, swallowed entirely whole at that store in his back or something. It's a neat idea. I like it. It is unexpected to go with the rest. They always give you punch hands and put them on. I don't understand why they do that, because I would rather they put any other hand in there, because that immediately means I have to take these out for him to be... I like to have them holding weapons. They come with weapons. Let's give them weapon holding hands. So let's take a look at some of the other accessories. This one is the one I was saying is kind of weird. I actually really like the accessory. It is a hollow head, but like the Invisible Man, they gave him hair. It's a turtle, but they also gave Leonardo facial hair, and Frankie Raff here has hair too. They're doing a thing, I get it, but I kind of wish they'd have given us one of these without this, and this being super rubbery, I feel like I could easily cut this or take it out and paint it and have it just be a normal one. I don't know if that's going to be necessary yet. I'm going to take a look and see if I can... if these ever go on clearance or something like that, I might pick these up, pick up a secondary one. I feel like out of all of these, the Leo and this guy are probably going to go on clearance. If they do, I'm going to buy another Donny, because underneath this is just a regular trench coat, so I could probably use this as just a normal guy, or do something extremely weird, or have them both displayed, because really, this guy comes with the most amount of, and I'm going to say this is, a lot of people are ragging on this one, because it is a little bit immobile. It is probably my favorite of the group, aside from the weird hair. I kind of wish that they'd have made that so that you could like maybe slip the cap off and put a different one on. Because I would like to have that one here because it just looks neater. I will make that decision when that time comes. It is not a necessity right now, because as I said, I might buy a second one anyway, just because of how many crazy things this guy comes with. So I'm not really going to worry about swapping all the hands out. That's just going to take up a bunch of time. And I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible, like under 15, because those are the ones that people tend to comment and so on. So if you want me to do longer videos, check out my Saturdays and Sundays. That is where I pop... I'm going to pop these hands off. That's where I put my custom stuff, and those videos can be up to 2 hours long, because that stuff takes time. So we're going to pop this clear hand in here. Oh yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, now we're cooking. So we're going to pop these feet off next. Put those right back in there. He comes with a couple grasping hands, a pointing hand, which I'll show you those two. Those are for specific scenes, I believe, with the, check for the arch here, the Invisible Man movie. There we go. This is like a softer rubber, so that's nice, because a lot of times these have very hard rubber to get in here. There. You can also store this on his back. I hate the way these stores. They always come undone, and then I have to go hunting for a bow staff. Let's put this down. Give him his in disguise look here. I also like this because it does give us an in disguise turtle, which is another Ninja Turtle thing. So there we go. So as I said before, he comes with, looks like 2. I'm gonna have to look and make sure, because this one had 2 of the same exact freaking hand. Like, I'm sorry, these are the same hand. They're slightly different. Sorry, this one is a little more open than the other, so I can't say that. This one might be holding a different thing. Maybe this will. Oh, you know what? I bet you this one's for the glass. Bet you that one's for the glass. And there is a second one of those too. So there are 2 larger like that, and then 2 that are like that. Of course, the fists, and then you do get a point and a maniacal. So those are cool too. Not really. Honestly, this was my jam. Having the invisible feet and whatnot was it. I think that's where I'm gonna stick this Donatello. He does have articulation under here. You can bend like right at the waist, hip. Hip, no thigh. You do have a swivel here and a bend as well. You cannot get crazy poses out of him, but it's enough for what I wanted. So, yeah, like that's enough of a pose out of a character like this. So I am more than I praise NECA for what they're doing with this line. It is everything that I've wanted out of one of these kind of lines, without being obnoxious. So like, the only critique is this weird head. If you're gonna give us this weird head, it should have had like a cap on the top you could swap out or something, because that would have even been cooler too, is to be able to see inside and there's nothing in there. Because now I gotta go buy a second one, or I gotta wait until someone sells theirs cheap. And that doesn't always happen with these figures. Sometimes they never go down in price. In fact, the stores that I normally frequent still have a lot of the April at full price, and that's hitting. I think it's hitting a year old, that figure. Let's take a look at all of them together. The next one I will do a larger altogether of all these, because I will have the last one that's available, which is Casey as the Phantom of the Opera, which yet again, you have to do all these in a certain way so that they all don't cross over with each other and don't cross over too much with the original line. And they've done this masterfully by having Leo unfortunately be the Igor of the group, which some people did not like. That made it so that everyone else could be kind of another one. Now, looking forward, there's 2 monsters that they have not done yet, and I am just going to call them. I'm going to assume that it's going to be Kino and Donny, because they are the only 2 that we haven't gotten yet that are in the movie and would have any way of being the other ones. Because people want Toka and Razar because it's the Wolfman and what's the other guy? The Gill Man from I'm trying to remember that. Not 20,000 Leagues. What the heck is that? Creature from the Black Lagoon. Don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna do Kino, and probably I would assume Kino is Gillman, or vice versa, or Danny is Wolfman. One of the two is going to be one or the other. They have likeness rights for those two, so I'm assuming they're just going to do that and round out the whole group, which would be superb, because I think they just got Tatsu rights, so they're probably going to get a Tatsu in here somewhere too. But there could be numerous versions of Tatsu that they use. Who knows? Realistically, they've got the Gillman, Dracula, and a Wolfman are the three. I looked up another one would be the Metaluna Mutant, which is from another, like, This Island Earth, I think, movie, or something like that. Not a lot of these monsters available. Universal, I thought, had a ton of monsters. No, it's just these ones, pretty much. If you can even call some of them monsters, like Van Helsing here, the Invisible Man. I guess he's made himself a monster. The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Like, there's not a lot of them. So hopefully they will continue this line. As I said, Texas Chainsaw Bebop has to be a thing. Rocksteady, I'm sure we could come up with something else for that. There's Jason Voorhees. They have all these horror ones that you can do that would work. I mean, shoot, The Fly, that's 100% Baxter Stockman, but with a Jeff Goldblum head. Yeah, I'm all for it. This line is amazing. It's currently available. Most retailers still have all of them. I don't think any of them are currently sold out, so check them out. They're from NECA, NECA, and yeah, if you like these, leave a comment below. Like, subscribe, comment, yada yada. You've seen the YouTube before. I'm Alpha Magnus. These are toys.